know, I don't blame anyone for not recruiting me. I can kind of see it, you know, but, and then, you know, me being Asian American, I don't know how much that had to do with it, but I'm sure it had something to do with it, so.
Because typically sports isn't associated with Asian American men.
Yeah, not basketball at least, not college basketball. So.
You heard a lot of racial taunts while you were playing. Can you tell us what they were saying at that time?
It was just, you know, typical, stereotypical Asian stuff and making fun of me, and so it was, you know, just fans at opposing arenas, and then occasionally some other players, but you know, that was just something that got under my skin in the very beginning, and it was really frustrating, but I just had to learn how to deal with it as time went by, and for me to be able to be more mentally strong and not, you know, get distracted or angered so easily.
I guess you were fighting the stereotype of there are no Chinese Americans playing in the NBA too.
Yes, you know, that's a stereotype that I'm going to have to fight for the rest of my life, but I understand that, and it's something that, you know, I embrace, and, you know, the more I can do to break that stereotype, I'd love to do that.
Representing the Asian American community in the NBA, talk to me about dealing with that pressure.
Yeah, I did a pretty bad job with that in the beginning just because, you know, I didn't realize that what it was going to be like, and so I remember being nervous and just feeling overwhelmed for the first few months of the season, and I think some people will take it the wrong way and say, you know, I want nothing to do with the Asian American community, or some people think that I don't want to represent them, and you know, that's obviously not the case, and I think anyone who knows me knows that, you know, I'm very proud to be it. So.
His sense of style, good looks, and charm have made Apollo a rare Asian American male sex symbol, but he doesn't really think about it.
I don't really pay attention to stereotypes. People could never really figure out what I was, you know. Even today, they're like, what are you? I'm like, half Japanese. They're like, no, really? So it's, you know, I'm a little bit of a chameleon, I guess.
Apollo grew up in Seattle. His mother, who was Caucasian, left when he was an infant, so he was raised by his Japanese-born father, Yuki.
My dad gave me every single thing that I needed. He gave me love, he gave me support, he gave me positive direction. I very much so relate with my Asian roots in all aspects, from the food to the people to the culture to the respect to the honor. It's always been a part of my life, both in my philosophy towards my training, both in how I live my life, and is my philosophy inside the ice rink and outside the ice rink.
Ward was born in 1976 in Seoul, South Korea, to a Korean mother and an African-American father serving in the U.S. Army. Not long after they came to the U.S., Ward's parents divorced, and Hines eventually fell out of touch with his father. Throughout his childhood, Ward found himself an outsider.
Going to school, black kids teased me because I was Korean, so it was hard to try to fit in with black kids because they always made fun of my Korean side. Well, trying to hang out with the Korean kids, they always teased me because I was black, you know. Trying to hang out with white kids, they teased me because I was black and Korean.
After Ward's MVP performance in Super Bowl 40 in February 2006, the trip took on a different dimension, as the nation that had once ostracized them now celebrated them.
I felt like a king. I mean, it was crazy. We get off the airplane and they got military guards and the media people, and, you know, everywhere we went, it was, you know, like I got media coverage here and stuff, but, I mean, you remember the Tiger Woods when all the crowd was walking behind him? Well, multiply that times 10. That's how it was where we went. It was kind of crazy. Everywhere we went, it was an entourage of people.
Having finally been embraced by Korean society, he now embraced his own Korean heritage.
I used to be ashamed to say I was Korean. Today, I just want to thank you guys because I apologize to you for being ashamed to say I was Korean.
I consider myself an Asian American. I don't know where role model fits in that. I don't really consider myself a role model because I don't think I'm nearly as influential a person as I can be.
Christina is proud of her Korean heritage, but has heard the grumblings the tour is losing popularity because it's becoming dominated by Korean-born golfers.
I really would rather not touch that subject with a 20-foot pole. It's very complex, but you know, my thing is, in the end, all that matters is how many strokes you're going to have, and if someone beats you out, someone beats you out, and that just means you have to get your butt into gear and practice harder and figure out how you're going to shed a couple strokes off your scores.
Some advice for young Asian American golfers?
Well, you know, for me, the only thing that I could ever give to anyone in terms of advice is just to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, and when it comes to something that you're truly passionate about, you don't necessarily have to listen to naysayers.